Hey guys, my name is Freedom. Today I'm going to show you how to create a signboard in Unreal Engine 4. When you approach the signboard, you can see there's a GUI. Press E to view this signboard. If I leave, it disappears, and when I approach it, it shows again. Press E to view this signboard. When I really press E, then it will show me this signboard in the game. And then here you can see a button. When I click return to the game, then it will back to the game where I can see it anytime to view the signboard. Alright, so now I'm going to start from the scratch, and I will close this project. Alright, now this new project here is totally start from the scratch with nothing. So start from now, I'm going to show you step by step how to create that, how to create a signboard. Alright, for the first step, what you need to do is to create a signboard mesh. So it can be very simple. I will just drag a cube. As demo, I will just make it as simple as possible. I drag it up, and then here I press R to make it this way. Press W to lift it up, and press R again to make it short. Next, I'm going to drag a cylinder here. And then I'm going to adjust this cylinder to make it like the pillar of the signboard. Alright, so now the signboard mesh already settled. This is a signboard now, just a mesh. Alright, next, what I'm going to do is to create a trigger box. So I will drag a trigger box here, and then I will hold it. This one is to press R. Then press W to make sure that it is at the back and also at the front, but not at the side. So once the player touch this trigger box, it will activate the press E to interact. Next, you need to create a widget. Press E to interact. In order to create a widget, I will click the contents. Now I right click and open a new folder. The new folder, I will name it as Signboard. Alright, I double click into the signboard, and I right click, user interface, and then click a widget blueprint. Alright, this one, the widget blueprint, I should name it as press E to interact. Okay, again, you also remark it in the file name, this is a widget. Alright, next, double click the widget. After you double click, it's shown in this way, and it is totally empty. What should you do? You need to drag a button here. That is the most simple way. You can see the buttons. Next, You just need to type a text here and drag the text into the button here. Now this is a text box. So under here, the text I will change press E to view. Okay, this is for signboard, press E to view. The color and opacity, I will change the color to black color to make it obvious and make it simple. Then I click OK. Next, I change the button size again. I don't want it to be so big. Alright, so now I just put it at the bottom. Now, we already complete these widgets. Press E to view. Now, I refer back my notes. This one I had done previously. Next, you are going to the input setting to make sure you create a press E to interact buttons. And of course, you can set it as E or any of other button. So where should you go? That is under the project setting. So for this one, this widget press E to view already done. You just need to compile, file, save, then can temporarily close it. Next, you are going to set the input buttons, click edit, and then click project setting. Then you should find the input here. The input is under the action mapping. Click plus to create a new one. Alright, then you rename it press E to interact. Then the keyboard, this is the key. You set on the keyboard as E. Alright, next you can close already. It will automatic save. Just need to close it. The trigger box is already here. Okay, next what should you do? Create a signboard widget. Alright. In order to create a signboard widget, it is very simple. It is still under the signboard folder, content signboard folder. Under the same folder, I'm going to create another widget. Right click, new user interface of widget blueprint. And this one, we should name it as Signboard 01. Signboard 01, you also need to remark it as widgets at behind. This is the file name. And then how about this? This is the trigger box just now. You should click on the trigger box there and rename it as well. Click again to rename it. Trigger box. Signboard 01. So most probably your game will have Signboard 01, Signboard 02, Signboard 03. So start from beginning, you must name it systematically so that later you won't confuse which one belongs to which signboard. So this trigger box belongs to this signboard, the Signboard 01. Now you already have a trigger box. Next, what should you do? Create a signboard widget. Now, the signboard widget is already here. Just double click it. And then, maybe you want a background picture. So if the background picture is already in your computer, you can just drag into here. For example, the wallpaper. I want this as my signboard picture. Then, first I should import this picture into this folder, under the signboard folder. It is importing. Alright. Once already importing, back to your widgets. you can drag in the wallpaper, and then actually these blue frames, it is your game screens. So the picture is here. You can adjust the size. Usually by default it is HD 1920 for the X, and then 1080 for Y. Now put it to the center. Next, you are going to create a button here as well. Same as just now, button. Drag the button to here. And also add another text. This button, first you name it. This one is return to game. So this is a button. Next, I'm going to create a text as well. Drag into here, return to game. Then we will put under there the text. First, I resize the buttons. Then click the text. I'm going to rename the text as return to game. See. Then, still under the text, color and opacity, I will choose the black color so that you can see very obvious. Maybe you want to put any color, that it's up to you. And then since this is a signboard, maybe you want to put more information here. You can just drag out the text as well. Then, if you want to type, you can type at here. This is a forest. You can find some wild animals inside. Alright, once you type it already, you can enter it. Press shift and press enter, shift enter. Then you change to another line. You also can change the font size as well. Here, I will make it become 50. I can drag this as well. Okay, now this one already become a signboard. Let's check back my notes. Create a Signboard Wizard. Alright. Next, you should set some buttons. You can see here you already have a button. Click the graph. And which one is the button? This one, this is the button. Return to game. So click return to game and click this one on click. Once you click this one, then it should remove all the widgets. Remove all widgets. And also at the same time, you need to unshow the mouse cursor, because during when you are in your Signboard widgets, you want to show your mouse cursor. So after you click return to game, you want to unshow the mouse cursor. So here, mouse cursor, show mouse cursor. Set the show mouse cursor as unshown. And at the same time also, pause the game. Which one is the command? Set game pose, you must set it unpose. Set game pose. Alright, set game pose, you must make sure unpose it. That's all. Alright, so now it's your time to set your blueprint. Alright, now this one you click compile. Alright, this one under the mouse cursor you can see, if you want to show the mouse cursor or unshow your mouse cursor, your target should connect to get player control. So when I click compile, it is failed to compile, so the target here you need to drag it out. Set player control. Okay. What is the command? Get player controller. Get player controller. This one. So once you already done this, click compile, it should be able to compile, and now for the Signboard 01 widgets, it's already done. Now can close it temporarily. Next, what should you do? Next, you click your trigger box. Make sure you really click it. Not this. Okay, now selected already, you see? Trigger box Signboard 01 already selected. Click the blueprint and click open level blueprint. Alright. Once you already open your blueprint, I refer back to my own notes. First, because of your trigger box is already selected, so here you right click, add event for trigger box Signboard 01, click the triangle below beside the collisions, and then add on actor begin overlap. Overlap means you already touch it, you already touch the Signboard trigger box. And also you create another one, add events, collisions, add on the actor and overlap. So what you want to do actually is if you as a player you touch the Signboard, then you want to create that widget, that is press E to interact widgets. Then otherwise, if you are not touching it, it's not overlap, then remove all the widgets. And then you need to set a variable as well. That is a Signboard variable. Alright, under the variable here, you just need to plus first. A new variable, you rename it here. This one is Signboard 01 can show. Alright, so whether can show or cannot show, you can see. First, you just need to drag out and then a widget. Get widget. Sorry. That is to create a widget. Create widgets, and then you select the widgets here. That is press E to interact. And then add to viewport. And also set the variable. Drag out, add to viewport. And then you can see the variable is signboard01 can show. So you drag out set signboard01 can show. You set it as true. Then, so you must understand the meaning actually. That is just because of when the player touch the trigger box, then begin to overlap. Then you want the computer to show the widgets and also set the signboard01 can show. Then next step is to copy this tree, Control C to copy, and then sorry, no need. Once you already untouch it, not collide with the trigger box, then you have to remove all widgets. This is to remove. If you touch it, it show add to viewport. Press E to interact buttons. And then if you untouch the signboard, you leave the signboard, then remove all the widget. At the same time, copy this, set, copy and paste here. You set it as signboard01 don't show. You untick it. That's all. Next, you are going to set a condition that, how about if you press the button E. This one, inputs, press E to interact. See? Press E to interact. This is a keyboard button. If you press the key, you need to check the conditions, see whether the signboard01 can show or cannot show. So you drag out the press. You need to create a branch. The branch is like if and else statements. Then what condition you should check? Drag out the signboard01 can show. We want this, okay, this one. I drag it out and then get these statements, the conditions. So now this branch is to check whether the signboard01 can show is true or false. If true, then you have to open the wizard. Open widget. Sorry. How to open? Open widget is the command is create a widget. So here, if true, then create widget. Which widget to create? The widget that you are going to create is the signboard01 widget. If false, you can just leave it. Just no need to create anything about the false. So that means when you press the button E, it will check whether the signboard01 can show or cannot. If can show, then it will create the signboard01 widget. Besides create signboard01 widget, here you must drag it out and then add to viewport. Then connect this one. After you add to the viewport, you also must make sure that you can show your mouse cursor. But you better make your game pause and then show the mouse cursor first. After that, create the widget. So this one I will delete first. First, show the mouse cursor. Show mouse cursor. I delete this first. Alright. Mouse cursor. Untick here. Context sensitive. Untick. Then show mouse cursor. Set the show mouse cursor as show. And at the same time, also pause the game. Drag out. Set game pause. Yes, make it pause. Then after that, create the widget. The widget to create is Signboard 01 widget. And then here drag out add to viewport. Connect the self. So now it is almost complete. I'm going to click compile. So what's wrong here? You can see show mouse cursor the target. You must set something here. I check my own notes here. After you pause, set it, you must show mouse cursor, you must connect to get player control. Just need to drag it out. Get player control. Alright, now I compile again. Now no problem already. Everything settled. File save. Then I minimize this. I try to test my game. I play test. Now, okay, wait. Okay, now I try to play. See, press E to view. I leave. Disappear. From the side cannot. Yeah. Press E to view. If I really press E, alright, now I press E. See? When I press E, it brings me to the Signboard Widget 01. Then I click return to game. It returned to the game already now. So now everything already set properly. And this is the game. The game with a signboard that you already set some contents for the signboard. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you love my video tutorial, if you feel all these tutorials are very helpful to your 3D animation and game developing, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and also turn on the mini bell to activate the notifications so that when next time I publish a new video tutorial, you receive the notification immediately. See you in my next video. Enjoy and happy animation.